The latest movie news and reviews to see or not to see.
Another week, another remake, at least that's how it feels these days. So right now I'm taking a look back at the new Footloose movie. Remakes are almost always worse than the original and usually just plain poor films, but this one actually surprised me. The acting and chemistry from the two leads is great, and Dennis Quaid taking over the role of the preacher is spot on. And unlike most films about high schoolers, the actors actually look like teenagers, not mid-20-somethings. Obviously the plot mirrors the originals, so if you've seen the original Footloose there'll be no surprises, but do yourself a favour and don't watch the original before you see this one, otherwise you'll spend more time comparing the two and less enjoying this one. But really, there are two stars of this movie. The first is the dancing. There's some pretty sensational dance sequences, and the soundtrack mixed with country and hip-hop works really well, actually. And the second is the character of Willard, played by Miles Teller. He's the best friend of Ren and the film's comic relief, and he nails every scene he's in. I would have really liked to have seen some change with this remake, though. Obviously, the director knows how much of a loved film the original is and was afraid to change the movie too much in case of backlash from the fans, but I think some creative license could have really been used to help improve the film. Some scenes that have been replicated from the original fell really flat, like the rage dance scene in the abandoned factory. It really didn't have the charm and emotion that the original had, and to be honest, I think it would have been better if it wasn't there. I got the same vibe with the speech that Ren gives to the council. When Kevin Bacon gave that speech, it had a real power to it, but Kenny Wormald just doesn't seem to give it enough feeling. And personally, if you're going to make a movie that sticks so closely to the original, I think it would have been cool to have maybe a couple of cameos from like Kevin Bacon and John Lithgow, and not just because I'm a huge John Lithgow fan. Okay, that could have something to do with it. For such a carbon copy remake of the original, Footloose really does stand on its own 2 feet. Pun intended. The acting is solid and the dancing is great. Some more originality would have been nice to see, but it doesn't make the film bad by any means. Again, just make sure you don't watch the original before you see this one, as you'll spend the whole time comparing the two instead of enjoying what is a solid musical dance film. I give Footloose a 3 out of 5.
Check out more movie reviews online right now to seeornottosee.net.